Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. So, if you haven't signed up for Dan Wooten Outspoken Substack, you can sign up for free. Make sure you do. Because today he has exposed the Sussex squad. See, this is why you don't try to attack journalists, okay? So, anyways, very interesting. So finally, Harry and Meghan's Sussex squad is exposed here. See exactly who was in charge. And yes, Boozy was one of the ringleaders, but it's two others. And we're going to find out about that thanks to Dan Wooten. So I just thought I'd read through it, make sure everybody gets this article. I'm sure everyone's going to be covering it, but this is worth repeating over and over. So it says the Sussex squad exposed how Harry and Meghan are at the forefront of one of the biggest trolling gangs on the internet age. The shocking reality about the online mob targeting Catherine, the royal family, and other Markle critics is finally revealed. Time and again, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have presented themselves as guardian angels attempting to drive hate off the World Wide Web. The exiled Duke and Duchess of Sussex use various media and public platforms to bemoan the internet trolling, suggesting it has taken a significant toll on their mental health. With Meghan even claiming the negative reaction she received was, quote, almost unsurvivable during one unsuccessful bid to garner sympathy. Harry, who I am told has several anonymous accounts to regularly patrol X or Twitter and other websites he claims to despise, has even taken on a role of the Commission of Information Disorder for the globalist organization, the Aspen Institute. So Harry has several Twitter accounts. Does anyone know what they are? Let me know if you know which ones, so I know which ones to block. Hi, Jenna Smith. How are you? Yeah, finally exposed. So what if I told you this entire act is one big mirage, a publicity stunt at best, because Harry and Meghan are actually the forefront of one of the biggest internet trolling gangs of the internet age. A gang unofficially led by a man who they consider a professional ally. Notice the Marxist communist terminology there they use. They're all socialist Marxists. A professional ally and friend called Christopher Boozy, who has been paid for research by Meghan and was then famously platformed on their high profile Netflix reality show. A gang I can pinpoint directly to starting horrendous rumors about the whereabouts of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, that spread around the world when in fact she had just received a devastating cancer diagnosis. I mean, that's so evil what they did and have been doing. And they continue to do on YouTube too, I might add. A gang that has spent years spreading untrue information about Prince William's sexual preferences, often using bot farms and the dark arts of the internet to amplify damaging rumors, which I talked about with the racial accusations a few videos ago. And a gang who proudly brand themselves as the Sussex Squad, which Harry and Meghan have never once publicly or privately condemned. The Sussexes must disassociate from the squad. Both Boozy and his army of trolls like to present themselves as do-gooders trying to shut down bad behavior on the internet, when in fact my extensive research and investigation has shown that they are the ones perpetuating the worst trolling. at times threatening the lives and livelihoods of folks who have simply exercised their right to free speech by criticizing the public behavior of Harry and Meghan. Is Harry on his three fake Twitter accounts? Yeah. Oh, this article just came out. We have to read this. Very important article here. I was like, oh, this has to go far and wide. Uh, you have to make sure everybody's back. Yes. This article just came out. It must be covered. I was like, oh, we gotta talk about this. This is this is too important. This is breaking news here. So Dan Wooten writes, my interest in uncovering the truth about this malignant squad is intense, in part because for the past year, these online thugs have attempted to destroy my reputation by working with a handful of nefarious forces to spread total lies about me and my completely innocent partner who has no role in public life. As their behavior unravels after overplaying their hand during Kategate, today I made an unequivocal demand of Harry and Meghan. Publicly disassociate yourselves with the increasingly dangerous and deranged behavior of the Sussex Squad, or anything you ever say again about the cruelty of the internet is worthless. While Harry will claim that they have nothing to do with the Sussex Squad, this graphic shows the close connection between the former royals, their PR mouthpiece, Omid Scobie, and Boozy, and their three main leaders of the trolls. So you got Harry and Meghan on top of this pyramid, right? And underneath Harry and Meghan, you got Boozy and Omid Scobie, who we know work directly with Harry and Meghan. And then underneath them, you have Ian Sexton, which the Royal Grift has exposed on her videos. Hagen Trelawney, an X'd out picture here. And then Sarah Data. Now, I believe Sarah Data is behind taking down Yankee Wally and harassing an elderly woman, which we'll get to in the article. He doesn't say that, but you can see from what he says that it's the same woman. So the dark arts of the internet. I have been aware of the Sussex Squad for years because they have regularly targeted me after I broke a number of seismic stories about Prince Harry and his wife, including their decision to Megxit in January 2020. Many of the biggest Sussex Squad accounts would parrot briefings received by Meghan's former LA PR agency, Sunshine Sachs, which is famous for being unconventional methods online famous for using unconventional methods online to protect their clients. Yeah, they went crazy. Sunshine Sachs went overboard with this. They went too far. But it was only last May when I discovered how far this group would go to take down enemies of their heroes. Head Sussex Squad troll Sarah Data, an anonymous account with over 20,000 followers, who I have evidence showing she worked closely with Boozy in the past, began to post unthinkable criminal allegations against both me and my boyfriend. On May 27th, 2023, Sarah Data wrote that I would, quote, soon be exposed for a number of despicable crimes that I had never committed. I will not amplify her lies again here, but she added, quote, whoever is protecting him now will go down with him. The Sussex Squad are small in number, but use the dark arts of the internet to boost their message. Sarah Data is the biggest example of that. I have connected her to at least 12 accounts on X Twitter here. So Sarah Data has used multiple usernames and accounts since 2017. And here are her accounts that she's used. Real Sarah Data, Real Sarah. And I have a tweet here that she posted that says, I have never seen a headline or cover as unprofessional as Camilla Tominey clearly suffers from delusions of grandeur and perhaps imagines she's part of the royal family. How else can we make sense of the image below? Very concerning when reporters think that they're the story. So that the Sussex Squad always attack journalists. They're always going after the journalists, which is, shows that they work for Harry and Meghan. Because normal people trolling, they go after other people on Twitter, right? But not the Sussex Squad. They always go after journalists. So Sussex Squad, Sarah Data writes, Sussex Squad, I work in tech and understand SM platforms very well, our social media platforms very well, good at discovering what trolls are up to early on, etc. I've decided to permanently keep my account private and only allow Sussex supporters to join a place to plot against trolls. I don't want to do it publicly anymore. As one of the royal family members, we can see this. Here we go. As one of the royal family members who has been investigating Sarah Data's activities explains, bullying against journalists, YouTubers, like Yankee Wally, and users of social media has escalated progressively from aggressive insults to a complex effort coordinating mass reporting and harassment, as well as fundraising to wage vicious campaigns of character assassinations and with real world consequences. I have since learned that Sarah Data is an Ethiopian born, listen to this next part, this is important, Swedish educated US citizen who lives in Tribeca in New York City and worked for Facebook and Google after studying computer science at the University of Chicago, explaining her interest in the tech industry and mass media. So, Sarah Data worked as a she's Swedish educated, and wasn't it supposed to be a Swedish lawyer that Yankee Wally spoke to and gave her personal information to? Remember that? Yankee Wally said, "Oh, the Swedish lawyer contacted me, is going to help me fight the Sussex Squad," and she was giving her money and gave her all her personal data. Yeah. Yeah, and she's a US citizen apparently. She was made a US citizen because she worked for Facebook and Google. So they could do whatever they want. They're in with the government. So they made her a citizen. I hope that's rethought now that we know she's a criminal. I think somebody should lose their citizenship. She's probably not I wonder if she's full on or has a green card. I don't know the exact. Yeah, if she's a US citizen, no, she should be revoked in my opinion because she's obviously a criminal. But she's ties with Google and Facebook, so uh, the globalists there. She works directly for the globalists because Facebook and Google are globalists, right? So yeah, there you have it, right? And she's Black Lives Matter, Marxist. So it says before joining the campaign against the royal family on behalf of Harry and Meghan in the mid 2020, she was focused on left wing political issues like Black Lives Matter, aka Marxist communists working for the socialists, the globalists that back them up. In a series of conversations on X with my partner, who threatened her with legal action for the false claims against him, Sarah Data admitted to posting information fed to her by both my deranged ex and Byline Times, who has been working with Prince Harry. So Dan Wooten wrote another article you can read on his Substack showing that Prince Harry is working with Byline Times. Prince Harry helped build Byline Times. It's about getting money for them and whatnot, and he's going to be interviewed on them. So Byline Times is Prince Harry, basically, who has been working with Prince Harry to try and destroy me. That's Dan Wooten talking, right? So she conceded, Sarah Data conceded that she had nothing to fact check the highly defamatory claims, and she apologized to my partner, claiming he was simply collateral damage. Collateral damage. In the squad's bid to cancel me. Yeah, that's a very military, governmental kind of terminology she's using. You're just collateral damage. I mean, wow. Hi, Justin. Hi, Kim. Hello. Hello. Hi, Jenna. Yeah, this article just came out. This is great. Finally, the Sussex Squad getting fully exposed. Harry and Meghan Sussex Squad and Prince Harry's byline times. Dan Wootton has done his research. Hopefully, he comes out with much more because they need to be fully. We need the light shown on this dark hole here of the Sussex Squad. Yeah. By July 2023, when Byline Times began publishing a completely untrue series of hate pieces against me, the Sussex Squad began to crowdfund to continue the campaign of hate. Yeah, and this is another aspect of it, which is the crowdfunding, which is that they're raising tens of thousands of dollars. Somebody is donating tens of thousands of dollars to the Sussex Squad through quote unquote crowdfunding. Hmm. Exactly. They're using war terminology. Exactly. Which shows you this is governmental, organized, globalist, government people behind it working with them, like Rene DiResta, perhaps, and Department of Homeland Security, perhaps. So we're seeing some censorship complex combined with the government going on here with this terminology. Just saying. We all know Harry and Meghan are the globalists. Harry and Meghan at the UN talking to Tedros. I mean, it can't be any more obvious. So these are not just your everyday trolls that decide to band together. This is like I'm out. I bet if Dan digs further, he'll find a lot of governmental connections here. But anyways, almost immediately, Sarah Data pledged the Sussex Squad would raise a six-figure sum for the journalists behind the story, writing, quote, £100,000. I can guarantee you will have it by the end of the week. This is a Sussex squatter talking. I'll have £100,000 by the end of the week. Yeah, but they're not working for the government or globalists, right? They can just raise $100,000 in 1 week. So you see what's going on? They do it all pretending to be fundraising. See, we're just fundraising. We're not doing anything illegal. Meanwhile, all this money is coming from probably Harry and Meghan and Bill Gates and George Soros or who knows who else. The royal family. I don't know. Money's coming from somewhere with someone who has a lot of money. £100,000 to just nothing to them. We are rallying our fundraiser and we have raised more than that in the past, says Sarah Data. On July 24th, she revealed that the Sussex Squad had been responsible for raising £11,000 of the £13,000 for Byline Times campaign in just 24 hours. So Sussex Squad raised £13,000. What is that in US dollars? That's almost $20,000 in just 24 hours, right? Nobody bats an eyelash at that. Oh yeah, I could just raise 20,000, dollars tonight. Come on, everybody, $20,000 tonight, right? No, nobody can do that unless you've got some serious globalist government connections here. So, or Harry and Meghan connections. So Sarah Data tweet here saying, I have all her tweets, including metadata saved. She also vandalized an American bookstore when she traveled to the US, obsessed with hurting Harry and his wife. Yeah, so he's got some of her tweets here. You can see all the nasty things she writes about trolling people. So she later hosted a series of spaces on X to coordinate the hate campaign among 636 hardcore Sussex Squad trolls. That number surprised me. I'm like, there's 636? I hope so. I hope so. There should be because this is terrorism, and they have attacked and defamed Dan Wooten and so many people. Look at all the people: Yankee Wally, Murky Meg. Look at all the people, myself, who have been deplatformed because of their mass reporting and their hate and the real world consequences. Dan Wooten lost his job. Here's Morgan lost his job because of the Sussex Squad reporting him to Ofcom after he said he didn't believe Harry and Meghan, right? Hmm. Yeah, no, this is huge. This is huge. Yes. 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 I hope so too. I hope so too. Let me tell you, it's about time. It's long overdue. The reign of terror of Harry and Meghan is over. They need to be completely exposed and taken out and deported. Trump, Trump, to port, to port. So during one of these, August 9th, 2023, of which I have obtained audio, hit play to hear it below, Sarah Data said of me, I know there's going I know there's a lot going on with Harry with the Japan trip and stuff. I want to be honest with you guys. This is a priority for me. He's about to fall off the ledge. We can't come this far to sleep on this thing. We have to see it through. This is our chance. We never get momentum back again. Timing is everything. Also, remember Invictus is coming, and we're going to go 100% for that. So this is all right. So this is last August 2023. So she's talking about the next Invictus coming up here. And listen to how crazy she sounds in this audio. You can see how crazy and obsessed she sounds. Um, so here I'll play the clip here if it plays.
What I'm thinking of in terms of this, guys. I know there's a lot going on with Harry, the Japan trip and stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is a priority for me because we're just about to like he's about to fall off the
Yeah.
ledge.
We can
So
do both.
so it's like we can't come this far and like sleep on this thing because we have to see it through. This is our chance. We never get a momentum back
Yeah.
again when you have a moment. So timing is everything,
Yeah.
right? So here's the thing. Also remember Invictus is coming, so when it's Invictus, this is we're gonna go 100% on that, right? So this is our chance. We have to get this done before Invictus. He has to lose everything before that. That's what I've been stressing about. I don't know if you guys think about things that way, but I do. This is my hobby. So
Right, right. So then you see how obsessed she is. Mm-hmm. Yep. The danger zone as well. Ashley, a danger zone. They went after her, burn her house down. Hmm. Yeah, we still know who did that. On July 14th, 2023, amid rumors of a series of equally deranged theories, Sarah Data wrote of me and Prince William, quote, he's a friend of anyone who will brief against their own family, friends, and colleagues in exchange for positive headlines. It's what William did to Harry and why Harry has no option but to go nuclear. So does that sound like an innocent person victim of the internet here? Harry has no option but to go nuclear, right? Again, military terminology there. Dan is running a protection extortion racket, she claimed. Of course, nothing could be further from the truth, says Dan. I was simply a journalist breaking stories with a host of sources, including those close to Harry. On July 18th, 2023, seemingly admitting that the campaign against me was in direct retaliation for my coverage of Harry and Meghan, Sarah Data wrote, quote, all he had to do is leave our faves alone. So here's that Sarah Data. Who do these people think they are? Sarah Data. Who do you think you are? They work at Facebook and Google, the globalists, and they just think that they can rule the world. Like they just think that you have to do what we say because we're Google and Facebook. So you see where she's getting her arrogance from? Like if you wonder, I mean, yeah, it's criminal. Yeah, she's not American, so of course she doesn't, care about this part of the world. She's uh but she's got the globalist backing that has given her this arrogance of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, Davos. All of them are with Google, right? And Facebook. These are the same groups. Bill Gates. This woman has their arrogance because she works for them. So she's presenting Bill Gates, Sergey Brin, the YouTuber, leader of YouTube, all of them as mainly Google, Facebook, and all that. She's representing them and saying, you have to do it. You're just collateral damage, that one that we destroy the life of and defame. And, all you have to do is do what we tell you. We tell you to leave Harry and Meghan alone. You have to do what I tell you because I'm Sarah Data and I work for the globalists. That's what I see when I read that, that she works because she does. She works for the globalists. So you're seeing that arrogance of we'll censor you, we'll take you out, we'll get you fired, we'll make you lose your money. Because that's what they're doing when they deplatform people from YouTube, like Yankee Wally and me and other people. They're taking away your income, right? That's the intention during a pandemic. Because don't forget, this was 2020, 2021, when people were sent home and couldn't work and all this other stuff going on, and people relied on their social media income to get by, and they were ripping them down and everything else to make you suffer, to literally make you starve. That's what they wanted. That's that's what Sarah Data represents. So Sarah Data attacked Americans as well as British people and taking away their income. And she's a foreigner here who moved here and got sponsored by Facebook, the globalists there. And that's why Facebook likes hiring foreigners. Have you ever heard that Facebook only hires foreigners? And it's because foreigners won't have a problem with abusing American citizens, because, of course, Facebook is in America. But the globalists, right, the head of Facebook there, Mark Zuckerberg, and his wife, they want the power to destroy Americans and their livelihoods. So it's easier to have foreign employees do that. They're not going to care about Americans or British people or whatever. So that's what I think is going on. That's what I'm speculating with all of this, because I find it interesting that Sarah Data is Ethiopian and she's working with Facebook and Google and deplatforming Americans like me and British people and what do you call it? And Danger Zone, Ashley, and Yankee Wally and stuff. So you put it all together. It's all the globalists behind it. You can connect this all, and the arrogance and the behavior and the evilness of it, the oppression, the censorship. Right? They're all about censorship. It's always about censorship with them. So that's what they did for people who were snake bite. If you got the snake bite and were injured, Americans who were injured, people like Sarah Data said, "Oh, are you injured looking for help? You're deplatformed for misinformation." So that's how evil it is. And that's why I believe that's why they hire foreigners like Sarah Data to abuse us, and to, while people were dying, sick and dying from snake bites, they were deplatforming them, cutting them off from connecting to the world to find out what was going on, to try to get help. So really, really evil crimes against humanity here. This is much bigger than Harry and Meghan when you think about it. It gets the implications of what they're doing. This is just one small part. But of course, Harry and Meghan get special attention because they're royals, right? It's Prince Harry. But it's good though, because it exposes them even more for what they were doing to regular American citizens under, with other things like the snake bites and whatnot. So, anyways, and they got to do the same thing with climate change. By the way, that's next is climate change. You'll be deplatformed if you don't support their climate change and carbon tax and all this other nonsense they're coming out with. Anyways, in my opinion. So after I was suspended, so Dan Wooten was suspended by GB News on September 27th, 2023. Due to Lawrence Fox saying that he did not want to shag a female journalist during an appearance on my top-rated primetime show, Sarah Data celebrated the victory on behalf of the Sussex squad. So Dan Wooten lost his job on GB News because of what someone else said. So does that sound right to you? That you have a guest on your show and they say they don't want to shag someone, and you lose your show, you lose your job over that because of what someone else said? Does that sound right to you? That doesn't sound right to me. This sounds like a setup. Total setup. And globalist back, no doubt. So, of course, Sarah Data gloated and celebrated because she's evil, working for the globalists. Writing, quote, Dan Wooten suspended, mission complete. GB News found the perfect reason to fire him. No deeper investigation needed, just an easy buy. So this Ethiopian woman living in New York City is celebrating getting somebody losing their job. I hope Sarah Data enjoys the treatment when she loses her job, and we can all gloat about it. See how she likes it. Comes around, goes around, Sarah. Karma, karma, karma. So, but in January, as internet sleuths begin to work out her identity, Sarah Data started deleting hundreds of messages. On March 14th, armed with the knowledge that I was now aware of her true identity, Sarah Data quit her campaign of trolling X altogether. So on March 14th, when Sarah Data realized that Dan Wooten and others knew her true identity, she got scared like the coward that she is and deleted her accounts, because she's nothing but a coward. In reality, she wants to harass people in the real world and get them fired, but she doesn't want for it to come back on her. She doesn't want to worry about losing her job and getting fired, right? Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh. She was rabid. She is rabid. They all are. Mm-hmm. Exactly. All of it is unbelievable. It is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That'll be a long, but there are court cases going on, as you know. Harry is involved in quite a number. So is Meghan with her sister. So, mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Well, that includes the Sussex squad because Harry and Meghan are behind the Sussex squad. This is major expose that needs to be done. A critical part in explaining why Harry and Meghan are so evil and criminal. This is a major part of it. All this money laundering. I mean, £100,000 in 1 week, £20,000 in one night, and you don't think there's money laundering going on here? We got a lot of financial crimes going on here, as well as attacking citizens and defaming them. There's a lot going on here. We got a lot of levels of criminality going on here. That's all I gotta say. A lot. And it all includes Harry and Meghan with the globalists and the governments. So 2 days before she had written to her followers, Sussex Squad, we've got everything we want. Royal family in shambles. Of course, destroying the royal family is a major objective of, as well as everything else, is in destroying the royal family. That's all they're obsessed with this. The Sussex Squad are always about taking down the monarchy. The monarchy is taken down. They're dying. They're falling apart. This is what they're obsessed with. They want to take down the monarchy, as well as everything else is taking down any critics of Harry and Meghan. And now she's boo-hoo-hooing because she's getting a phone call, uh, and her employer for days. She claimed they threatened to harm her dog. How would anyone know she has a dog? That's ridiculous. She's making up lies here, in my opinion. Sociopath. But then she told her supporters in a private message group that had been leaked to me, quote, I discussed it with the ladies in a voice chat and I felt supported in just moving on. The Sarah Data persona is a toxic one. So she admits that her own persona is toxic. And she did it anyways. It was intentionally toxic. She was being intentionally criminal and cruel and committing crimes against humanity, in my opinion. She knew what she was doing. She did it purposefully, with intention, and no doubt was paid. She didn't do this for free, right? She got paid. So how much did Harry and Meghan pay her is the question, right? I feel it has done what it needs to do. Why let it stay around and become a symbol for of derangers, right? So they call us the derangers. These deranged individuals, these with Trump derangement syndrome, they all have because they're all Marxist communists. They are yeah, this one here knows that she is purposely here to get people angry and incite hatred. So she says, I want the squad to evolve and make room for new squaddies with new talents and methods. Because I'm not here to do the opposition research necessary. Opposition research, wow. Sounds like very official governmental kind of stuff going on here again. Or marketing, I don't know. I didn't. Opposition research necessary with an account like that. I have to shut it down. Want to kill the persona and move on with my life. Also, after destroying everybody's lives with her account, she says she's going to kill the persona and move on with her life. It's like, no, the evil behind that persona was you, Sarah Data, and you take it with you wherever you go. Well, you know that expression, wherever you go, there you are. So she's trying to pretend like Sarah Data was something separate from her persona, but really it's her expressing herself, her shadow side, if you will. But she's not taking credit for that. She's pretending like it's something else, like a mask that she can just take off. Perhaps she is a narcissist like Meghan, and it is a mask, one of her masks. I don't know, multiple personality disorder. Who knows? All I know is this woman is evil, evil like Meghan, and cruel and inhumane. So, like, I'm tired. It's been 4 years of. She says here, she admits here, she goes, I'm tired. It's been 4 years of scheming and plotting for Harry and Meghan. And she says, I'm simply tired. So she admits that she was being evil and toxic and plotting and scheming for 4 years. Harry and Meghan's troll, who works with Christopher Boozy and Meghan Markle and Omid Scobie, and she admits all this. She admits it. She doesn't deny it. She's not like, "Oh, I'm just supporting and defending Harry and Meghan." No, she's like, "I've been scheming and plotting and toxic, and now I'm tired of it." I mean, this should go to court because right there, she slam dunk. She has admitted to her crimes. She knew what she was doing was evil, and she did it anyway. Mm-hmm. Yep. So there you have it. His article is good. Sarah Data then revealed her first name and added that she wasn't quitting the campaign. She admitted her first. I don't see it here. Okay, so he knows her first name, I guess. He didn't. I don't know if he didn't put her name in here yet. Maybe that'll come out later. So Dan Wooten knows Sarah Dada's first name and added she wasn't quitting the campaign altogether, just as its leader. So she's still involved. She's just not a leader anymore. She added, quote, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm getting small Twitter account. Just want to be another squatty without all the other stuff. Don't want to be a persona that needs active managing." She then attempted to delete all evidence of her campaign. So she knows how guilty she is. So she went back and tried deleting everything from her campaign from the Internet Archives. Right? And she's got the globalist connections at Google and Facebook to do that. You don't have that right. Anything you put on Twitter, it stays forever in Internet Archives. But if you have connections to Google with the globalists, like Sarah Data does, you can delete your history from there. And you see that regularly with globalists. You never find anything. They delete everything. That's why screen grabs are so important. So, but what exists is Sarah Data's connections to Harry and Meghan's friend Boozy, who has branded Prince William a quote balding muppet. Analysis of her post suggests a formal collaboration began around September 2021. They spoke on a podcast in May 2022. And on December 5th, 2022, when Boozy appeared on Harry and Meghan's Netflix series, Sarah Data posted, "Our very own Master Boozy, sharing his expertise with what might be close to 1 billion viewers." This is a Netflix. That's why Netflix is such a big deal. Christopher Boozy is a true ally, Marxist communist terminology, friend and brother to women everywhere, writes Sarah Data. Own Master Boozy. Master. Interesting terminology there. It also happened to crowdfund. She also helped to crowdfund Boozy's bot Sentinel business, which is ironically designed to identify trolls in social media, although it really didn't. The whole thing was a scam and flawed, and that was pointed out by engineers at Twitter right away. The whole thing was a scam. But she raised money for this. I wonder how much money they got from all their globalist buddies and Harry and Meghan. Probably a lot. Boozy has publicly acknowledged knowing Sarah Data. So Boozy has publicly acknowledged that he knows Sarah Data, responding to claims that it was actually him running her accounts. He wrote on June 17th, 2022, quote, "Now anti-Harry and Meghan accounts claim that I am, wait for it, Sarah Data. Sarah and I have recorded several Twitter spaces together." So they're working together. He openly admits it. "We have literally talked simultaneously, many of these people." And then he insults people for being slightly older than Christopher Boozy, who's 48 years old, by the way, or something like that. He said many people are 50 years older. How much paint was there in the 60s, 70s? Well, you would know Christopher Boozy because you're 48 years old, so. Anyways, he's like, "Oh, all these old people who are 2 or 3 years older than me must be saying this," he says, It's so stupid, but the things he says are so dumb. On September 12th, 2022, and Meghan Markle is about that age as well. We all know she's much older. And from what we hear, she's actually born 3 years earlier than her said date, which would make her close to 50. Actually, it would make her 50, but anyways, on September 12th, 2022, their collaboration was ongoing. As he publicly tweeted her, "Check your direct message here." So this is Boozy contacting Sarah Data directly. So they work together. There's no doubt about it. They're both working together, Boozy and Sarah Data. Sarah Data has collaborated with other leading figures of the Sussex Squad. One of them is Ian Sexton. So this is the third major head of the Sussex Squad. As Royal Grift has covered, it's believed that he probably worked for Sunshine Sachs. I mean, they all worked for Sunshine Sachs, probably hired by them. But Ian Sexton sort of comes and goes with Harry and Meghan. Meghan has left Sunshine Sachs, and with that, Ian Sexton has left. It appears so. That seems to be that he like directly works with Sunshine Sachs. So So Ian Sexton is a self-proclaimed global citizen, like Harry the globalist, working for the globalists from Tampa with 310,000 followers, who has promoted the unofficial PR message of Harry and Meghan while spreading outrageous abuse about the royal family, with particular acrimony saved for the current queen, Camilla. On December 19th, 2022, Ian Sexton tweeted, quote, Camilla the Queen consort is in league with her fellow abusers, Piers Morgan, Jeremy Clarkson, against all women, and particularly Meghan. He has no shame. So this is Ian Sexton attacking Camilla, behest of, we all know, for Prince Harry. Prince Harry hates Camilla. We all know that. Maybe Ian Sexton is Prince Harry, is possible as well. Then on March 29th, 2023, he attempted to link the king with Nazi Germany by posting, quote, King Charles skips town and takes his adulterous side piece, Queen Consort Camilla, to see his home country of Germany, while Prince Harry wipes the floor with their buddy Lord Rothmere, whose grandfather was also an admirer of Hitler. You know, Harry and Meghan love tyranny, so they're worse than Hitler, criticizing him. Sussex Squad started Kategate, but it was only during the recent hysteria regarding Catherine, the Princess of Wales, that the true malignant influence of the Sussex Squad gained international prominence. My analysis shows it was anti-royal family accounts connected to the Sussex Squad who created the false narrative that Kate had disappeared from public view for reasons other than her legitimate health concerns. See, this is how evil they are. They're so full empowered and full of themselves that they thought they could get away with attacking a woman with cancer and spreading all kinds of rumors and lies, saying she ran away. Prince William got, someone pregnant, and he left her, and she moved away, and all this other nonsense. Oh, she's getting a butt lift. Oh, she's getting a facelift. I mean, they spread so many terrible, terrible rumors during a health crisis. Really, really evil, malignant stuff finally being exposed fully for how evil they actually are, and they've been doing this for a long time and getting away with it. They've been doing it to Dan Wooten, Piers Morgan, Jeremy Clarkson, Yankee Wally, right? Ashley, May, Murky Meg, Taz, everybody. Everybody has been victimized and deplatformed by these trolls in one way or another. And now they tried doing it. They're so empowered. They've been getting away with it for so many years that they actually went for Catherine. They've been getting all these journalists fired, and now they're like, okay, go for Catherine. They actually were so emboldened by their success at getting people like Dan Wooten fired that they thought they could take down Catherine. I mean, like her reputation. That's what they're gunning for. They really thought they could do it here. This is what they've been working on, and that's why they're so insistent on it's fake, it's AI, it's fake. What's going on? It's fake. It's not real. Where is she? Where is she? This is why they're doing it. They're trying to take her down, her reputation in the royal family. Taking down the royal family is the real goal, right? Um, the post that started it all was on January 20th by way of an account called I Love Lucy, which posted fingers and faces shoving incandescent rage, screaming matches, a sudden hospitalizations, a disappearance for months, hashtag bullyam. Oh, they're calling William Bulliam. Yeah, they're also accusing Prince. They also accuse Prince William, a rumor claiming that he beat her up. Right? All this nonsense they come up with. They just fling all this crap against the wall to see what will stick. This is typical PR. What they're doing. Sunshine Sachs, WME, whoever's doing it now. This is how PR works. Did something like Harry did something. So she's saying William did something like Harry, Kate was told to shut up or else. She doesn't even have custody of her kids. Charles does. So that's why Prince Harry, I believe, because they're trying to claim that William like is beating her up, and that's why Prince Harry, I believe, made up that story that it's William punched me and I fell in the dog bowl. Right? You know, they always bring an animal into it to try to get sympathy, even though Harry's responsible for breaking two legs of a dog and still hasn't explained what happened. But yeah, there you have it. So Harry is trying to build up this narrative of William being a bully, and now they're using it and trying to claim now that Catherine's sick, they're saying, "Oh, William did it." So you see such evil, defamatory statements of brother against brother with the help of these globalist trolls that Harry hired with Meghan, Facebook and Google all working together here. Yeah. Oh yeah, they worked really hard, and it's like obvious agenda here to take down journalists, which of course Prince Harry and the globalists want. They don't want us to have freedom of speech or to know what's going on. Censoring our news is very important to them. They don't want us to know the truth of what's going on. Unfortunately, it's also very strong with these snake bites, and that's the reason why so many are dead and dying. We are under attack. It's no joke. It's war here. And people like Sarah Data and Harry and Meghan are promoting death. They're a cult of death. Mhm. I hope so, because they ruined people's lives, their reputations. They got so many journalists fired. They lost income because of them. Their reputation was harmed. I mean, this is all Harry and Meghan doing this at the end of the day. All roads lead back to Harry and Meghan, and Harry and Meghan have never criticized them or told them to stop. On the contrary, they support them. Say thank you for fundraising. And where is all this $30,000 or 20,000 in one day, £100,000 in one week? Who raises that kind of money? Nobody, unless there's some money laundering going on. So a lot of shady things. Yeah, karma coming at last. I hope so. It can't be soon enough. It's taken long enough. And hopefully this continues. I'm so happy that Dan Wooten has written this. Thank you, Dan Wooten. It's an excellent article, and I think more and more people need to be aware and learn about this and hold them responsible. And Prince Harry, because Prince Harry made William look like a bully with his fake stories and lies about him, and now the Sussex Squad are running with that with the Catherine's hashtag is Kate alive soon after. So really, they're really taking a very crisis, a health crisis of Catherine, and using this to bully William, to malign and defame and smear him and Catherine. And Harry and Meghan have said nothing against it, as usual. They're silent about it. My sources say key Sussex Squad accounts run bot farms designed to spread stories using tens of thousands of fake accounts, able to trick the X algorithm and make topics trend. So they have the power to get things trending with their bots. You know, they got all this money behind them getting paid by the globalists and quote unquote fundraising, right? During Catherine's absence from the public eye, as she underwent abdominal surgery and was later diagnosed with cancer, this meant fringe Sussex Squad theories, literally made up to cause maximum bad publicity for Prince William, ended up bleeding into the mainstream media. While China, Russia, and Iran may have amplified the rumors, I believe the stories didn't emanate from those rogue states, rather from the Sussex Squad. Yeah, because other countries don't know what's going on and who the Sussex Squad is and what's true, what's not. hate campaign against Kate. Shockingly, Boozy's hate campaign against Princess Catherine has continued even after the cancer diagnosis. So now Boozy, Sarah Data, Paulini, Harry Meghan, Omid Scobie, are all attacking a woman with cancer right now, and they continue it. This is how evil, evil, evil they are. And it's really no surprise because they were deplatforming people who are sick and dying from snake bites, so it really shouldn't be that surprising. But again, they're targeting Princess Catherine. They're really aiming high this time. Meghan and Harry want to take out William and Catherine, especially Meghan. He has continued. So Christopher Boozy has continued to peddle conspiracy theory. The son's picture of William and Catherine at a Windsor farm was faked, claiming that he used, quote, facial comparison recognition tools. We all know everything Boozy says is a fake. He's a criminal. He doesn't know anything about anything. To determine the woman in the video is not Princess, added to X, quote, to pretend the woman in the video is Kate is QAnon level stuff. So now he's accusing you of being QAnon if you don't believe his version of events. So you see the political angle here, the Biden political angle, DHS behind him, anti-Trump stuff here, and they all hate Trump. So he has also, so it's very political and governmental is what I'm getting at, globalist. So he has also cast doubt on the authenticity of Catherine's official video announcement and diagnosis. Employing a Markle-style tactics, Boozy has claimed the increased media scrutiny surrounding his role in the Sussex Squad trolling is rooted in racism. Right? So they're bullies, they're attacking people, destroying people's lives, people dying, uh, literal crimes against humanity. And then if you dare criticize Boozy, well, you're a racist, right? They just love doing that. Meanwhile, they're the racists attacking William and Catherine. So, but in regards to this connections to the Sussex Squad, he added vaguely, quote, I have never threatened or made death threats or slurred anyone from the royal family. Lies. He attacks Catherine constantly. Nor have I ever stated, implied, or suggested I am a member of any group. So he's trying to deny he's part of the Sussex Squad. Except the tweets, there's evidence, there's tweets, Boozy. We all see your tweets tweeting together, and they interview each other. I mean, Boozy's been on so many Sussex Squad podcasts, and yet he's trying to pretend he's not with the group. I mean, you see what liars they are? They're such liars. But last week he wrote on X, quote, I will join Sussex Squad tonight at 7:15 p.m. for an in-depth discussion on everything that's happened in the past few days. Bring your popcorn. So there you go. So he tries to claim he's not with the group, but then he turns around and says, okay, come on, Sussy, come on, Squaddies, we got to discuss the past few days. Let's go. So obviously they keep in regular contact and update each other. And Sarah Dado is obviously a leader in that as well. So Squad gets nastier on Discord. Now I have not gone to them on Discord. I don't know if anybody else has, but after being rumbled on X, I can reveal the main plotting of the Sussex Squad has moved to Discord, a more private social network designed to allow groups and organizations to communicate via voice, video, text, and file swapping. Unbelievable, on this platform, the conversation has turned even nastier. Hagan Trelawney, one of the leaders of the Sussex Squad, who is believed to be a British branding advertising expert with insider knowledge, has been spreading a nasty rumor that the Queen has encouraged her husband's cancer diagnosis. Yeah, the squaddies were all jumping on and attacking Camilla, saying, how could she not be there and go on a vacation or so? She went somewhere, she flew somewhere on vacation after the king had already announced his diagnosis. She wrote on Sussex Squad followers on Discord, Megan Trelawney wrote, quote, he's been wearing that lead paint since the coronation. Camilla probably laced it with arsenic so she can end this farce and retire in a bottle of gin with all the duchy millions. Proof. So this is after the cancer diagnosis of the King Charles. They just attack, attack, attack. So proof that the Sussex Squad empowered by driving the Princess of Wales can reveal her cancer diagnosis earlier than she had planned, only going to get worse. Given the stress currently facing the royal family, with both Catherine and the King undergoing serious treatment for cancer, Harry and Meghan must put an end to this madness. Yeah, Harry and Meghan are literally killing Catherine and Charles right now. They're literally killing them with all this, with everything else going on to stress them out, people who are seriously ill. And Harry and Meghan do nothing to stop the Sussex Squad and their attacks. And the attacks on journalists and spreading these nasty rumors with their bots. They still continue on even after these cancer diagnoses. Harry and Meghan have no mercy. They are soulless. They are heartless. They are evil, evil. I keep saying, I can't say it enough how evil they are and psychopathic. And this shows it. This shows how this is why Harry and Meghan should not be given power over anyone. Mental health advocates, my A. These two are the most cruel and inhumane dictators you've ever seen. They need to be in prison, is what they should have no power whatsoever. Their money should be taken away from them. They should be forced to work minimum wage somewhere for the rest of their miserable lives. They are just so evil, and the fact that they are going after royal family members, Harry's own family, who are dying of cancer, or maybe not dying, but seriously ill with cancer and could die, just like the Queen and Prince Philip were dying, and Meghan's own father dying, and Harry and Meghan just cruelly attack them and criticize them with their Sussex Squad. It never ends. And it just shows how cruel and evil they are. I mean, Harry and Meghan are so evil with their Sussex Squad, shows it, proves it. A case study here is EMZ. The Sussex Squad is this is another case where the Sussex Squad have attacked so many people, and including this EMZ woman, who was a let me see, I'll read it. The Sussex Squad are famous for directly targeting high profile social media users who do not support Harry and Meghan regularly, dispatching threats and other forms of harassment, including attempts to hack into personal accounts. EMZ is a certified psychotherapist and trained life coach, but she was driven off X and felt under threat after being targeted by the Sussex Squad in 2020. Quote, the bullying I went through was pretty horrendous. So this is pretty totally different, right? I mean, it's like the Sussex Squad are just on fire. They're just so empowered. They're the big bullies on Twitter, and they're just going after everyone. I mean, because of course they have the globalist support, the government support. I'm sure Renee DiResta and Jory Craig, along with Harry and Meghan, and the other woman, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but they're all working together, Katie Couric, and they're like, yeah, take this one down, take that one down. And they're just so full of themselves and their power to use and abuse and to platform people. I mean, imagine how drunk with power you get knowing that you can deplatform whoever you want and you can bully whoever you want, harass and dox. Oh, they were so happy. They were just that's why their arrogance and their of all this getting away with all this bullying and harassment and deplatforming that now they're actually they've and then they went after journalists and they've been taking down the journalists successfully. So now again that's led them to gun for William and Catherine. Now they're going after William and Catherine directly because they're so empowered by their success at taking everybody else down. So you see how it's gradually built up over the years. You know, it starts with Yankee Wally and me and all these other people taking us down, and then they're like, "Oh, that felt good. Who else can we take down? Let's go for a journalist." Then they start taking the journalists down. Piers Morgan, this guy, I'm forgetting, we had Wooten, I'm like forgetting names. But then after they get all these journalists taken down, they're like, who can we take down next? Let's go for William and Catherine. So they are just they've been gaining power with the trolling and attacking, and they're just getting more and more drunk with power. And Harry and Meghan are right there with it, going, "Yeah, go for it, get it, get it." So they're just loving this. They're loving their power to bully and to terrorize. They're a reign of terror, and it really is. It's online, but it's very real. There's real world consequences. So I have a lot of evidence regarding the doxing and bullying in the online community. How certain accounts act innocent but were instrumental to reaching out to Boozy, who then targeted me. So this is EMZ talking now. So this is another person they took down. One of many, many people. Um, they nearly ruined my career. I lost nearly every subscriber on YouTube channel because it was a coordinated attack. The tweet from Christopher Boozy calling me dangerous opened up a huge trolling towards me. EMC has direct message Boozy telling, so they spread all these false rumors and ruined her career as a counselor, or what do you call it, coach, a life coach here. They destroyed her career, bad mouthing her like this. Now, she lost clients, she lost money. And this is what the globalist backed Boozy and Ellie Hall did to people. And she asked Boozy to call the Sussex Squad off her, and Boozy gave her the contact for Ellie Hall, who, as we know with Yankee Wally, is the crooked journalist for Harry and Meghan. EMZ has spent the last 3 years building herself back. In the 3 years has accrued YouTube followers of over 60,000, with a reputation for being honest and having integrity in her reporting on the royal family. But like me, she is forever scarred by her interaction with the Sussex Squad. So he ends right there. Thank you, Dan Wooten. It's an excellent article. I hope there's more to come, much more to come. I hope other journalists are covering this. And I think we really need to expose this. There's so much to unpack and so many layers, but it really needs a thorough examination. And I think that they all need to, they should all pay for the crimes they committed. Because this is all part of the globalist structure here. And Harry and Meghan have just gotten away with it for too long, and it's continuing on. And to this day, even with, again, the King and Catherine's cancer diagnosis, and the Sussex Squad continued to attack with Harry and Meghan's blessing, is still going on. I mean, how evil and disgusting can Harry and Meghan get with their Sussex Squad and Christopher Boozy and Omen Scobie before enough is enough with these people? And then they turn around and say, "Oh, we're gonna fight for the toxic-free internet," right? I mean, the hypocrisy and evilness of them has no end. This really needs to end, and Harry and Meghan need to be, you know, face consequences. I believe they should not only whatever consequences with the royal family, uh, they should also face legal consequences. And hopefully we can start one of those things will be Trump deporting him. That would be a good start, at least. All right, so there you have it. I just wanted to read that. I felt it's such an important article. Wanted to go through it and share it with you all. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Yeah. Oh, you're done with him? Oh no. You could actually get them in Portugal. Uh-huh. These tabloids. Hmm. Oh, you said there's bigger, more evil fish in this mix. Like, yeah, the globalists above them, but they're pretty evil. This is pretty darn evil, if you ask me. Yeah. You love the EMZ. Uh-huh. Yeah, they took down so many victims of the Sussex Squad. I mean, it's not just the royal family or people that talk about Harry and Meghan on YouTube, but they go after so many people. So many, they just because they're so drunk on power, they're just going after everyone. Yeah. Well, all right, so that's the end of the article. I think I'm just going to end this right there. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.